episode of Science Max is all about elastic energy. We use it to build a catapult and a paddle wheel boat, and then we max them out. We even learned some history. Elastic energy. Today on Science Max, Experiments at Large. Welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. I'm Phil McCordick, and today we're going to be building one of the most devastating, one of the most powerful machines known to medieval man, using a plastic spoon, among other things. We're going to be building a catapult. Catapults were used throughout history for all kinds of reasons to throw all kinds of things, but mostly big stone blocks at castle walls in order to knock them down. Here's what you need in order to build your own catapult. You need elastics, pencils, unsharpened is fine, plastic spoons, like I said, and popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks. I'm gonna go wash my hand. So, here's the science behind what we're doing today. It's all about elastic force. Elasticity is a property of solid materials, like this elastic, and how much they tend to return to their original shape when deformed, like when I pull on it. Elastics are called elastics because they're great at doing just that. You can pull on it and pull on it and pull on it, and it'll, always return to its original shape. So we are using the power of elastic force today. Ow.
Now it's time for a Science Max quiz. Elasticity is the ability for a material to return to its original shape when deformed, like this or this. Which of these materials have elasticity? A rubber band, a pencil, or a rock? Haha! This is a trick question. The answer is all three. Most solid materials have elasticity. Nearly everything will deform a little and still be able to return to its original shape. It all depends on how much. This is a steel bar. This is an elastic band. And this is an ice cream sundae. We're not talking about ice cream sundaes now, though. So get that out of here. Good. Now, a steel bar and an elastic band both have elasticity. A steel bar can be stretched to 1% of its length and still spring back. A rubber band can be stretched 300% or more. The difference between the two is why we make balls out of rubber and buildings out of steel, because the other way around wouldn't be good for balls or buildings. This has been a Science Max quiz.
All right, let's build our catapult. The first step, take 4 pencils and stick your popsicle stick in between so you have 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And then use your elastic to go around and around and around. That's why I like building things with elastics, because it makes it very fast to tie things together, because once you go around and you have it nice and tight, you just pop it over the end and voila, it stays together. And that is how you start making your frame. Put more pencils on that side and another popsicle stick on the other end, held on at the corners with more elastics. Then take even more elastics and put them right around the middle until you get this. I've added a few more elastics around the middle here, and that is where we're gonna get all of our elastic force. I think I have 6. The more you use, the better it's going to work. Take your popsicle stick, stick it in between the elastics, and then start spinning it around. Here's the reason I use pencils and popsicle sticks, is because the pencils are a little bit longer, which allows you to twist the popsicle stick around in the middle and build up the elastic force. Now, because I'm twisting, the elastic force we're using here is called torsion, or twisting force. When you feel you have enough torsion, pull your popsicle stick down a little bit so it won't unwind on you, and you'll see that you have all kinds of elastic energy. Then, take your spoon and stick it on the popsicle stick, and you can also break off the popsicle stick if you want to make sure it's the right length. And it works like that. To make the frame, you just need more pencils and elastics. The trick is to make a triangle with 2 pencils attached to your frame. They should stick up right where your catapult arm would be fully upright. Then, take a final pencil and put it across the top. Don't forget to pull the arm back before you put the pencil across, otherwise it'll end up on the wrong side. Now, this is very complicated and I went pretty fast, so if you want the step-by-step instructions on exactly how to build this, go to our website. And there you go, a catapult of your very own that you can use to knock down very small castle walls. I've also built a larger catapult using all of the same principles. Pretty good, huh? It's got a longer arm, which means I can throw marshmallows even further. Whoa. Or I can throw larger marshmallows, or I can throw very large marshmallows. Whoa. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Phil, is that the largest catapult you're gonna make? Well, of course not. This is Science Max, experiments at large. I'm headed to the Center for Skills Development and Training, and we're gonna max out the catapult so that it's big enough to throw one of these. Hey, Zach.
Hey, Phil.
How you doing?
All right.
This is Zach. He's a mechanical engineer, and you build machines for a living, right?
That's right.
Great, because I need help building a catapult.
Okay, but what's with the pumpkin?
Now, the pumpkin is what I want to throw out of the catapult. See, I figure we just take the small design and we just make it so that we can throw one of these. What do you think?
You're gonna need a really big catapult.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna need some really big elastics. Where do you get those?
Well, in medieval times, they used rope to make large catapults.
Oh, okay, well, rope is a lot easier to get, and that would be fine. And I want to make this arm as long as this piece of wood here.
This is gonna be a huge catapult.
It's a huge catapult. I guess we should build it outside, though, huh?
Let's do it.
Okay, it's over that way.
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Sure, do you want a hand with that?
No, I'm fine. You go ahead, and
Okay.
I'll just, maybe if you hold the door open for me, I could just hold, no, you know what, you go and I'll meet you.
You sure you good?
Our full-size catapult is going to look a lot like the Popsicle stick version. We start with a 4-sided frame and add some legs on the bottom. Our spoon is going to be replaced by a long throwing arm with a basket on the end. Then we need a really strong cross brace at the top to stop the arm. Just like in the small version, using a triangle shape is the best because triangles are very strong. Finally, we need something to wind around and around, which is going to give us our elastic force. Instead of elastics, we're going to be using rope for our catapult because rope has just the right amount of elasticity. But unlike medieval times, we're going to be catapulting pumpkins. Once Zach and I got it all put together, it looked like this. Okay, we have built a catapult. Check it out. It's pretty solid, and I think it's pretty amazing. And just like in the small catapult, we have our elastic force. But this time we're using rope, right, Zach?
Yes.
Okay, and rope will work as well as the elastic did in the small one?
Yeah.
All right, great. So what do? It's really loose now.
We need to wind this up so that we put some tension into it.
Go!
The reason a catapult works is because the rope is twisted. The elasticity in the rope wants to unwind, which gives the catapult its power. Just like the small catapult, the more you wind it, the better it works.
Good. Usually in medieval days, they had whole teams of people doing this job, but it's just me and Zach now. How you doing, Zach?
All right.
Okay. And then we clamp it on here. So the thing doesn't unwind, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right, now we have our pumpkin, and we're gonna fire our pumpkin in our castle wall, which is made out of cardboard boxes over there. Pumpkin. All right, here we go. Pulling the arm back. Oh, that elastic force is pretty strong. Okay. How do you think that pumpkin's a good size?
Oh, it's pretty big.
You think?
Oh, a little too big.
It's too big for our basket.
Yeah.
Smaller pumpkin! Smaller pumpkin! I'll hold this. No rush, Zach. No rush. Okay, rush, Zach. Can't hold.
Oh, yeah.
Can't hold arm. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3!
It didn't work that well.
No, not quite that well.
Yeah, so
Let's see.
it went, and it flew, and it landed here, which is a little farther away from the wall than I'd like it to be. 1/3 of the way to the wall! I don't know if that's enough. What do we do to make it better?
Well, the way we're throwing it right now, we just have the pumpkin in at the end of the arm. But
Yeah.
if we make some kind of a sling so that we fling it as we're bringing it up.
We make a sling?
Yes.
All right, I don't know how to make a sling, but you know how?
Sure.
All right, we'll make it, and then you can explain how it works.
Yeah.
All right, good. Let's put the pumpkin over here. We'll recycle it later.
Max Historica.
Good morrow to you. I am Lord Fillington III, and welcome to my medieval castle. Throughout history, lords and kings have built castles and walls to keep people out. I built my castle to protect my prize collection of snow globes. I have so very many, and they're all mine. Ha ha! Oh, hello! You down there! You can't come in. This is my castle. And throughout history, there have been people who've been wanting to get into those castles because Lord Fillington has been hogging all the snow globes, and I'd like to look at them. But the hard part is figuring out how to get into the castle, because I can't just come up to the wall and start hammering on it. Huh? Taste the wrath of my water balloon! Because if I get too close to the castle, he can get me. Ha 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 ha! Fortunately, there's this thing called a catapult. Oh, fiddlesticks. They have a catapult. What you do is you put something heavy in the end here, and the catapult fires it at the walls of the castle, knocks them down, all from far enough away that the people in the castle can't get to you. Ah! Oh, I surrender! Don't knock my walls down! It'll take me all week to fix them. Oh. All right, you can have a snow globe. Oh. And that's how catapults were used in history. Oh, so beautiful.
Back to our maxed out catapult. Our first design threw a pumpkin just like it was supposed to, except it only threw it 1/3 of the way to the wall. Now Zach and I are planning to outfit the catapult with a sling. The sling attaches to the end of the throwing arm and gives the pumpkin a lot more distance to travel. Because the pumpkin is traveling a longer distance in the same amount of time, it will be going faster, which will hopefully get it to the wall, or at least a lot farther than before.
So we built this sling. How does this work, Zach?
Well, we've got one end tied here.
Yeah.
And then we put the pumpkin in here.
Wait. Okay, pulling arm down. Pulling arm down. Okay, yeah, now what?
Now we put the pumpkin in here.
Put the pumpkin in there.
Yeah. And then we loop this over the back of the,
Oh.
over that. As the throwing arm goes up, this will slide off the back of the throwing arm and it will release the pumpkin.
All right, you're the expert. I believe you. Let's try it out. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Okay, that
Better.
works really well. You know what the problem is, though? We still don't have enough oomph.
Yeah, it needs more power.
So what do we do? I don't know if we can crank that rope anymore.
I think we're at the limit of our rope power, but if we added some more elastic,
I thought we weren't going to use elastic.
well, we used elastics in our small demo model, so what if we use some more?
We have elastics? I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
we
brought
have.
some in here just in case.
What's this?
It's surgical tubing.
It's like a giant elastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess this is elastic force. So do we twist
here
it
we-
around at the bottom there?
Well, we
or-
just wrap it around the throwing arm like this. And,
Oh, I see. So we tie it
Yeah.
here,
yeah, we just need a lot more, and then
we pull this, and it would be. Oh, yeah, that would
Yeah.
make a lot more. So we just need a lot more of this elastic. What is this again?
surgical tubing.
Surgical tubing. It's like a giant elastic. Fantastic. All right.
Goggles on.
Goggles on. Yes. Yes.
Here's another fun way you can play with elastic force. Take a milk carton. I prefer Science Max milk because it's the creamiest. 2% cream, 100% science. Wrap some elastic bands around it with some popsicle sticks on the bottom, sort of like feet. Then take some clamshell packaging, which wraps just about anything you buy nowadays, and cut out a square or a rectangle. Then wrap some tape around that square with an elastic in it, and put the elastic on the feet of your milk carton. Then wind it around and make sure you go backwards so your paddle wheel boat will go forwards when you put it in the water. And there you go, a paddle wheel boat. Now it is time to max it out. Ahoy, the SS maxed out elastic force paddle wheel boat mattress. I need a better name. But I've made a giant paddle wheel boat that will work on elastic force because I've got surgical tubing as my elastics, and that's an air mattress. And then I use some lumber to hold it all together. And of course I need a paddle wheel, and what better thing to use in a pool than a flutterboard? Okay, here we go. So normally you're not allowed to wear your clothes and your shoes in the pool, but I got special permission because of science. Besides, I'm not worried at all, so I didn't wear my swimming outfit because I figure I can totally do this entire experiment without even getting wet. That is how confident I am. All right, now the tricky part, we'll be getting onto the mattress. Okay, here we go. Ha-ha! Whoa. Ha-ha! The SS Science! Hey, SS Science, that's a great name for this. Look, it works great, and I managed to stay totally dry. Huh? Well, almost. Whoa, oh, oh. Haha, you thought I was gonna fall in the pool, but I didn't. Uh-oh. My flutterboard has stopped moving, and I'm in the middle of the pool. Almost. Yeah. Didn't think this through. No. 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 No, that's not going to work. Maybe I'll wait. Our maxed out catapult was working well with the sling we attached to it, but it still didn't make it all the way to the wall. Zach's idea is to attach a bunch of surgical tubing to the cross piece of the catapult. Surgical tubing is pretty much big elastics, so we'll have two places we're getting elastic force from, the rope and the surgical tubing. Hopefully this design is enough to help our catapult fling a pumpkin far enough to hit the castle wall. All right, here we go. You hold that. I get this. We got our system down now. Okay. This goes up to there. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Nope. One, 2, 3. Oh! It went too far. It went too far. That's so good. Oh man. Right. Okay, so all we gotta do is move the catapult back. So you get that side, I'll get this side, and we'll move the catapult. See, now our catapult is too good. We gotta back it away from the castle. All right, let's go again. Aha, pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Pulling arm back.
Pulling arm back. Grunting.
Floating. Pumpkin. Hooking rope on arm.
Hooking rope on arm. More grunting.
More grunting. Pulling back strongly. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Woo.
We're inside the castle.
We're still inside the castle. Oh, man. It's an excellent shot, though. So what do we do? Move the catapult back?
Yeah.
Move the catapult back. What about
here?
Here. Here we go again. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Loading arm.
Load an arm.
All right, you ready? You think it's gonna work? We've done every modification we can possibly do. So you think it's gonna work this time?
We did it. It's gonna work.
Okay, here we go. I'm excited. All right, ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Yeah! Woohoo! High fives! Well, there you have it. Awesome job. Now we need to throw fingers to see who gets to rebuild the castle. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Oh, thanks very much for joining us. Let's just take a break. I'll rebuild the castle. You see, this is exactly how catapults used to work. They'd hit the same part of the wall over and over until they made a big hole, and that would weaken the wall. Fortunately for me, it's really easy to fix. Just put this right in here. Oh, man. Science Max! Today's Science Max is all about sound. We bend the power of sound to our will by making the loudest sound we can. Wait a minute, a subwoofer.
Subwoofer.
Make cornstarch mud dance, glasses break, and things vibrate. It's the sounds of science. Today on Science Max, experiments at large. Greetings, Science Maximites, and welcome to... Can you hear me? Greetings, Science Max! You can't... Oh, hold on a second. Greetings, Science... Yeah, that's much better. Greetings, Science Maximites, and welcome to Science Max, experiments at large. Today, we're going to be talking about sound. Sound is all around us. We use it every day, but what is it really? Sound is energy. Let's say that this is the... No, stay. Stay. Okay. That this spring is the sound of my voice. When I make noise, it travels away from me in a wave. One air molecule vibrates the next, air molecule vibrates the next, and it looks like a wave. And when there's a little bit of energy, the wave doesn't move very much. Science. But when there's a lot of energy, the wave moves a lot. Science! What do we do? What do we do to make sound louder? This is the Science Max theme song. But it's not very loud because the speaker on my phone isn't designed to make super loud noises. So what we're going to do is find ways to make the volume of that song as loud as possible. Here is one way. Take a phone playing some music and put it in a glass. Make sure the glass is empty, of course. Huh? And suddenly, it's a lot louder. Wow! Why this works is one of the things we're gonna be looking at today. So that's what we're gonna do today on Science Max Experiments at Large. We're gonna learn how to make sound louder, as loud as we can. But I'm gonna need an expert to help me. Oh, I know, Michaela from the Ontario Science Centre. She's very smart. All I need to do is go to the Ontario Science Centre and see if she's busy. Yeah, Michaela, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
That was weird. I was wondering if you could give me a hand with an experiment.
Oh, I'd love to, yeah.
It's a sound experiment.
Sounds awesome.
Right on. Okay, we'll take the portal. We'll go back to Science Max headquarters.
Oh, take the portal? Cool.
Haven't you taken the portal before?
No, don't you remember? It wasn't working last time.
Oh, well, it's
Is it working?
fixed this time. Yeah, no, it'll be great. Trust me. Here we go.
Whoa. What's going on, Phil? Is everything okay?
Usually when I come through the portal, I land on something or something falls on me or...
Not today. It's your lucky day.
I guess so.
Safe landing.
Safe landing.
Nice.
High five. All right, so let's get started.
Okay, cool.
This is the experiment I want to max out today, Michaela. I know. Pretty impressive, right? No, hold on.
Okay.
So I take my phone and I play some music on my phone and It's louder, right?
Check it out. Phil, you've just made yourself a resonance chamber.
A resonance chamber.
A
Very
resonance
nice.
chamber is what we say when we're trying to describe how the sound is amplified. So if the sound's coming in from one direction, it's bouncing around, not really losing energy. So when more sound comes in, that's amplified. We hear it a lot louder.
That's cool. So that's what I want to do. Hold on, let me turn this up. That's what I want to do today. I want to max out as much sound as we can get out of the Science Max theme song, which
I'm
is
so excited.
totally awesome. So what else can we do to do that?
Well, there's a couple avenues I'm thinking. Do you want to try something with electricity or without electricity?
That's because with electricity, we're talking speaker systems and
Yeah.
Right. So
We
why
can
don't we
get into
do no electricity for now, and then
All
we
right.
can jump to electricity when we feel we've exhausted everything that's non-electric.
Cool. So I was thinking we could try to make a megaphone, because if we have a lot of sound, we could, funnel it in one direction, and then it'll be louder.
Okay.
What do
Yeah.
you
So
think?
the megaphone's pretty easy to make, right? We could just use. In fact, we could use this piece of paper, right?
Yeah, let's try it. What do you think?
I think it's very megaphony. Science taping it up. Okay, ready? Okay, turn it on. Play it. And doesn't sound, but what if I do this?
Hey, there it is. Right on.
Oh,
That song.
yeah? You hear it?
Yeah. Oh, I hear it.
Okay. So that worked pretty well. So,
Oh, yeah, it works. Works, Phil.
so this is pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Megaphone?
Oh, yeah.
So why don't we max this out? Why don't we make a giant megaphone and see if it makes a big difference?
I think it will. Let's do it.
Sounds good. Let's get started. All sound is vibration, but it's really hard to learn about that vibration if you can't see it. I mean, sound is invisible, right? Well, here's a way that you can make sound visible. All you need is some plastic wrap and salt and a bowl, just a regular bowl, and an elastic, like this. So what you do is you take the plastic wrap and cut off a piece just large enough to fit over the bowl, and then use the elastic to wrap around the bowl to keep the plastic tight. Pour some salt on the bowl, and then watch this. Hello, vibrating salt. The plastic wrap is stretched tight over the bowl, making it like a drum. A drum that's very sensitive to sound vibrations. Your ear works the same way. That's why we call it an ear drum. The vibrations from my voice make the plastic wrap vibrate, and that makes the salt dance. But there's more. Let's max this out. This is a Chladni plate, and what it is just a piece of metal on a platform that vibrates up and down to a frequency which I can program with this dial here. And when the sound waves vibrate the plate, they can interact in ways that make the sand form interesting patterns. Take a look. The sounds I'm generating vibrate the plate, make it move like a wave. But when the vibrations reach the edge of the plate, they bounce back and interact with the other waves going the other way. The way these waves interact at different notes is what causes the sand to make these different shapes. So this is great, but you know what? We can max it out even more. Maxing it out even more. Okay, that's about as much as I can take of that. So Michaela and I are on a quest to make the loudest sound we can. The first step is to make things louder without using electricity. We've looked at a resonance chamber, and now we're going to make a large megaphone. Sounds can be amplified by bouncing sound waves around in a space. When I put my phone into the glass acts as a resonance chamber. The sound waves bounce around inside the glass, and they combine and stack on top of each other. This makes the sound louder. Resonance chambers are used by musical instruments like an acoustic guitar. The wooden chamber bounces the sound waves around, and the sound waves build on each other to make the sound louder. A megaphone bounces sound waves as well. Instead of going off in all directions, a megaphone makes the sound waves all go in one direction. That's one of the reasons why a megaphone makes sounds louder, but only when it's pointed at you. So will a bigger megaphone work better? So we've made a larger megaphone, which is exactly the same thing. You just take a sheet and you roll it up, except our sheet was plexiglass covered in paper, and we've taped it together so it stays. And the idea here...
Oh yeah, bigger megaphone. We're gonna vibrate even more of the air inside of here, and hopefully this thing will be louder.
Okay, so you're ready to try it with the phone?
Yeah.
I think first we should try it with our voices, though.
Okay.
Now, what's your favorite season?
Awesome, I can totally hear you. That's amazing. And it would be fall. No, summer. Spring?
Think
It's
about it.
anything but winter. So the maxed out megaphone worked, but we still had to try it with my phone. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
How about now?
No, not so much. Not so much. Oh yeah. Nope. Nope.
So that is a
That was
great
cool.
example of non-electrical amplification.
That's right.
Amplified the sounds, no electricity. Okay, bye-bye. All right. Come on, make some noise! Well, how do you make noise? Well, to know that, you gotta know your sound. All sound is vibration. Here, take a closer look. You see? You got... Okay, let's try this again. All sound is vibration. The string of this guitar vibrates, which vibrates the air around it, causing the sound that you hear. Your vocal cords vibrate in your throat, causing you to make a sound. Ah, 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 la, 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 la. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. See how it's shaking back and forth? It's vibrating. Things that make a high sound, they vibrate faster. Vibrating really fast. Things that make a low sound, vibrate slowly. High note, vibrating fast. Fast! Fast vibrating! And now you know your sound. Everything has a resonance, a note that it vibrates best at. Let's say this fish tank is, well, any container where sound would be vibrating, and the waves of water are actually waves of sound. Now, normally, sound waves will bounce around inside the container, off the walls, and go back and forth like that. And how fast I move this piece of wood is the frequency, or the note, that we're playing. I could vibrate this wood very fast and make a high note. I could move this plank very slow and make a low note. And the waves just bounce around inside the container. But there's a speed I can move this plank where the waves stop going side to side and suddenly get twice as big. The waves bouncing off the sides of the tank are meeting the waves going in the other direction. But what we end up seeing is peaks of the waves not moving side to side, just going up and down, like you see here. This is the resonant frequency of this container. So, let's max this out. Say I have a wine glass, and I wet my finger, and I rub it around the rim. It vibrates at a certain note. That note is the resonant frequency of this wine glass. So what would happen if we were to play that note back to this wine glass really, really loud? And yes, this is something you should not try at home. This note makes the glass vibrate the most. Finding the perfect note things vibrate best at is great for musical instruments, but it's not great for this wine glass. The sound waves are causing the glass to vibrate a lot. And because this glass is delicate, it can only vibrate so much before it breaks. The vibrations were so strong that the glass literally shook itself to pieces. Science! Sorry. Science! Oh, wait. Science! Michaela and I have tried a resonance chamber and a giant megaphone to make sound louder. Now it's time to move on to the next step of the plan, using electricity to help us amplify sound. And that means speakers! So, speakers that you have at home, 3 different speakers here, right?
Looks
3 different
really busy.
cones.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
So, what's the deal?
Well, here at the bottom, we have a subwoofer.
Wait a minute, a subwoofer.
Subwoofer.
So it's a woofer? The word is woofer?
Yep.
And it's, okay, so it's for dogs. Right?
No, a subwoofer is for low notes here in our speaker.
Ah.
At the top here, we have a tweeter.
So it's for birds. It's birds, dogs. So low, let me guess, low notes?
Yeah.
Tweeters, high notes?
High notes. And then we have this guy here in the middle, and that's called your mid-range speaker.
Oh, that's not nearly a cool name. Now we have speakers, we've taken a look at that, but why don't we take one apart,
Cool.
right?
Yeah,
Because
let's do it.
I've got this one here that I spilled juice on, so it doesn't work anymore. So I've kind of taken it apart. So
Cool.
it's got,
Oh, man, that's awesome.
okay, so it's got the cover. That's cool. So what I find interesting is there's the speaker and the wires, right? Because it's electrical amplification. But check this out. This is just a ring to hold that on. And the rest is just an empty box.
We know what that is. Resonance
chamber. That's right. So that's why it's an empty box. So
Let's take this apart too, see what's going on.
So that's the paper cone, right? So that's that's the drum, I guess. It's like your eardrum, the thing that vibrates.
Yes,
Yeah.
this whole thing vibrates.
So this whole thing.
That's for electromagnet. When we turn this on, the electromagnet goes on and off, and it's causing this whole thing to vibrate.
So that's how it works. It's the electricity turning the electromagnet on and off.
Exactly.
And it's on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. And then it makes it vibrate at certain speeds, right? Hertz. The number of times it vibrates per second is hertz. What we could do is we could max it out with the speaker and plug the phone into the speaker. But this step does not feel like Science Max to me because anybody can do that, right?
Yeah.
You can just turn up your television right now, and that's pretty much the same kind of thing. We need electrical amplification, but maxed out.
Max it up. What are you thinking?
Okay, so I've got a friend, and he's got a stereo system that he built, put together, and what he does is he tours different cities. So he said he'd bring it by Science Max headquarters.
He's gonna bring it here?
We gotta go outside.
We can see this thing.
And it's very loud, so we have to go outside.
When's he coming?
Right now. All right, let's go check it out. Seeing sound vibrations is fun. This kind of speaker is a special kind. It's called a subwoofer, which is designed to give you the low notes, the big rumbly bass sounds. I tilt the speaker so it's facing up and cover it with big sheets of plastic wrap, which I push into the cone. Then, tape it so it's nice and secure. Then, what you need is some cornstarch mud, which is 2 parts cornstarch, 1 part water. I've got some yellow cornstarch and some blue cornstarch. This experiment works the best with low notes. I'm playing a tone through the stereo that is very low. Here's what happens when I turn up the volume. It's alive! You see, cornstarch mud is a shear thickening fluid, which means when you impact it, it turns solid. So the vibrations from the speaker cone are making the cornstarch mud impact, and that's turning it into a solid. But then it sort of also melts back into a liquid, so you get little columns of cornstarch coming up and falling down again. It's like it's dancing. Whoa! Visual sound waves. Science! So Michaela and I are going to max out sound. To do that, we need a maxed out sound system. This is gonna be amazing. This
So
is gonna be super maxed out sound experiment. This is
so
James,
pumped.
Michaela.
Hey, James, how are you?
Thanks for coming, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
So, tell us about your speaker system. It looks a lot like a vehicle.
This is my audio van. It's got 4 15-inch subwoofers in the back. It's got a whole bunch of power to power it, and I'm glad to be here to let you guys hear it today.
Wow.
So if I have a speaker at home, like a little speaker like this, how many watts do you think that would be?
Somewhere between 15 and 25.
15 and 25 watts.
Yes.
And you've got 4,000.
Yes.
So that's a lot more.
Yeah, quite a bit.
And subwoofers, they play low notes.
Yes.
So is that better when you have a van like this?
With a car audio van like this, you want to play low notes, like your house stereos, and that will play anything from 120 to 200 hertz. I'm playing 20 hertz to about 35 max for you guys today.
So that's like a
Yeah.
sort of rumble of
Yes,
thunder,
very
kind
low.
of blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
where you really feel it.
Yes.
Like a train going past almost.
Oh, that's cool.
So we get our hearing protection on and we try it out. I know what you're thinking. Phil, what's the point of having loud music if you can't really hear it? Because we've gone from listening to music to feeling it. The sound waves are so strong that they have become a physical presence. Michaela's hair flies around because the air from the speakers is creating shock waves. The sound waves are so powerful, they move the air back and forth, which makes Michaela's hair dance all over the place. And my hair, not so much. I'm totally jealous of your long hair.
Yeah, you need to get longer hair.
Okay, hold on, I'll go right.
Okay.
Whoa! Science Mac! Experiments at large! Super sound! High fives! Okay, ready to go again?
So cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we go. Science Max! This episode is all about mechanical advantage.
No longer will I suffer the weakness of human muscles.
Using the power of science to hurl pumpkins, pull cars, lift wheelbarrows, and, go back in time?
A trebuchet!
A what?
Trebuchet!
All on this episode of Science Max Experiments at Large.
Behold, Science Maximites! I am Filtron 2.0! I have changed myself into a cyborg to give myself super strength! No longer will I suffer the weakness of human muscles! Behold my awesome strength! Tremble in fear at my might!
I may have to give myself some upgrades. Yeah, so, okay. Maybe I'll just give myself super strength the old-fashioned way, using the power of science. Today is all about mechanical advantage, like this fulcrum and this lever, transferring a lot of force over a short distance or a little bit of force over a long distance and vice versa. We are going to be building a trebuchet. A trebuchet. So a trebuchet looks a lot like a catapult, but a catapult uses elastic force to throw something, and a trebuchet uses the good old lever. There's a lot of weight on the short end of the lever, and on the other side of the pivot is the long end, and we've got a sling here with a marble in it, and we put that down here on the ground, and then we let it go, and whoosh, whoosh, it throws the marble. To build your trebuchet, here's what you need. Something to be your lever, like a pencil. Something to be your weight. I used batteries. You'll need to make a frame, and I use craft sticks and cardboard for that. A way for it to pivot, like a straw and a shish kebab skewer. Then you'll want a sling, which is a rope, and something to hold your projectile, like plastic netting. Finally, something to hold it all together, like glue. Get your craft sticks, make some triangles with one craft stick sticking up. Then get your craft sticks and make a base which you will put on with your cardboard like that. Now you'll also probably want to make some extra supports that go off the bottom there like that. Then get your pencil and cut a piece of straw so that you can see right through it, and you can get a shish kebab skewer and you stick it through the straw like that, and that's your pivot point, your fulcrum for your lever. What you want to do is put your weights, I've used some batteries, you can use anything that's heavy, on the short end of the lever. That's important because a lot of weight here translates to a little bit of weight going a lot faster on the other end. So, a lot of weight on the short end, and then on the long end of the pencil where the eraser is, you want to take a toothpick and stick it into the top of the eraser and then cut it off so it's just like that. That creates a little hook that you put the loop of your string net on so that when it gets flipped around, the loop comes off and then throws your projectile that way. And then of course you need something that you want to fire. I like to use marbles, but gumdrops work pretty well because they're nice and soft. And you put it in and you pull it all the way down, all the way so it's actually resting on the cardboard like this, and then you let it go. And it fires. And there you go, a trebuchet. Now, if you want to research how to build one of these yourself, it is called a trebuchet. Haha, trebuchet. Wait, I can make it come up, but I can't make it go away. I don't know why that works like that. Anyway. So we need to max out the trebuchet. Let's see, I need an expert. Oh, Chris. Chris from Logic's Academy has a trebuchet. Maybe we can use that one to figure out how we can max it out. And of course, because it's a trebuchet and it's maxed out, we want to fire something, so I thought we would fire, pumpkins. Let's go. Good luck, little pumpkin. Hey, Chris!
Hey, how's it going?
Chris from Logic's Academy. I had a problem with the pumpkin. It kind of got larger than I expected.
It's okay, I think this one's bigger than what we need anyway.
Chris shows me a scale model trebuchet. One we can use to test a few ideas before building our maxed out version.
Go on
Oh, and
here.
you've got little mini pumpkins!
I know, don't get too attached.
The first is the arm length, getting the right ratio. That means how long one side of the lever is compared to the other. When talking about a ratio, you write it like this, 1 to 2. It doesn't matter what the actual measurement is, just that this side of the lever is 1 of that measurement and this side is 2, or 2 times longer than this side. And it turns out a 1 to 2 ratio arm wasn't great. Well, that could be better.
It could be better.
So we tried a 1 to 6 ratio arm. The 1 to 6 arm threw the pumpkin further, but not a lot further.
Better, definitely better.
Better? Then we tried a 1 to 4. Turns out 1 to 4 is the best arm ratio.
Whoa! That's pretty good.
Chris also had an idea about hanging the weights.
Because as you see here, these go straight down. And going straight down actually makes this spin even faster.
So when we do the big one, we should hang the weights off the end and not attach them to the end.
That's right, and that'll give you some extra distance.
Excellent. Let's fire this last one.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I wonder when we make the big one, do you think we can get it through the goalposts?
Oh yeah, I think we can do that.
All right, let's try it. All right. This episode is all about giving yourself super strength using mechanical advantage. Well, here's how you can use a rope to give yourself the strength of a superhero. Ha-ha! I am mechanical advantage using a rope man. To gain mechanical advantage using a rope, you need 3 things. First thing, a rope. I mean, obviously, that's a given, right? You know you need a rope. Okay, good. Then you need something to pull and something that will not move. What you do is you tie your rope to the thing that you want to pull. Then you tie the other end of the rope, you guessed it, to the thing that won't move. Now, you pull from the middle like this.
And it's very easy to pull the weight. Why? Because of mechanical advantage. You're using a small amount of force over a longer distance. But what if the weight is heavier? Then you lengthen the rope. Now we pull from the middle and it's easier. Why? Yes, mechanical advantage. A small amount of force over an even longer distance makes it easier to pull the weight. Let's max it out. Mechanical advantage using a rope man, away! High above the city, mechanical advantage using a rope man surveys the town looking for someone in trouble. There's someone.
Oh, my minivan broke down and only 10 feet from my parking spot. If only there was someone who could help me.
I'll help you.
Mechanical advantage using a rope, man. I'm saved. Maybe you should try giving yourself some mechanical advantage using the rope. Mechanical advantage using the rope, man.
Yes. Well, I was coming to that. So I have this really long rope, and I tie one end to something that's not going to move, like a tree. Or a steel coil, if you happen to have one. And then I take the other end, and I run all the way back, and I attach this end to the van.
I call her Bessie.
Then I go to the middle of the rope, and I pull on it sideways like this, giving myself a huge amount of mechanical advantage.
Oh, it's working! It's working!
Pulling.
Mechanical advantage using a rope, man! You're doing it!
Ha-ha!
Well, gee willikers, you did it, mechanical advantage using a rope, man. You pulled the whole van.
And that's how you can use a rope to give yourself super strength. I am mechanical advantage using a rope man. Based on what we've learned from our small-scale trebuchet, Chris and I made a maxed-out version.
All right.
This, I think,
Wow.
is as big as we could possibly be expected to build this.
This is huge.
We have the length of our arm, which
Right.
is important.
Yes, and we've got to add weight here, so
Yeah.
we're gonna like loop this in. Whoa!
Oh, I guess that's because I took the weight off.
Yeah.
So, the arm is 4 times longer on this side of the lever
Right.
than on that side of the lever.
Right. So this arm goes 4 times faster than that side,
But
but we're gonna need a lot of weight.
like our small version, we needed to hang weights on the back of our trebuchet. So I got a rope and put some weights on. But because our new version is so maxed out, we need a lot of weight, which I needed to get on a rope and drag it over. Okay, almost there. And I needed to lift it onto the arm. I lift it. You know, maybe we should do this together. And okay, you take one end. And we lifted it.
That's gonna be a problem, Phil.
I'm kind of glad that happened because there was no way I was going to be able to lift that.
I know, it was way too heavy, and we need something stronger that can still hold the weight and still give us the hinge that we want at the top.
And once the weight's up there, if the rope broke,
That would be bad news.
that'd be big time bad news. Okay, so we need a new solution for getting the weights on the trebuchet that is not.
Not rope. We need something
Not rope.
stronger, and hopefully that still has the hinge on it up here.
Maybe we have some sort of bar system that we could hang.
Yeah, I'm thinking metal.
Yeah, metal, definitely metal.
Definitely metal.
Metal is better than rope
I think so.
for holding a whole bunch of weight. Okay, let's get that done.
Let's do it.
All right, I got some metal over in the shop over here.
Okay.
Come on down to Sal's Science Shop. I am Sal, and this is my science shop. You want levers? I got the best levers around. Little levers, big levers, all drastically reduced. If you can find a lever anywhere else for less, then you gotta tell me, because I didn't know anybody else was selling them. Come on down to Sal's Science Shop, your one-stop shop for science. Hey, you want some levers? Well, boom, have I got levers. What class would you like? What's that? You didn't know that levers have different classes? Well, there are 3 different classes of levers. First class, business class, and coach. No, first class, second class, Third class, it's pretty straightforward. And what do we need when we have a lever? We need a load, we need a fulcrum, and we need a lever. Ha-ha! First class lever, the fanciest of levers. You got your load on this end, you got your fulcrum right here underneath, and then you put some effort into this end, and wow, look how easy that is. Ha-ha! First class. What kind of thing works like that? Oh, I don't know. How about this trebuchet you've been spending all this time watching? First class lever right there in front of you. Second class lever. Look, there's a load right here in the middle. The fulcrum's on this end, and you put your effort into this end, and you lift it, and look, it's a second class lever. Huh? How cute is that? But what kind of thing works like that? It's like a wheelbarrow. The fulcrum is the wheel. The load goes in this, I guess this is the barrow, and then I lift with the handles. Huh? Look at that. Ha! Lever! Third class lever. You got your load on this end, you got your fulcrum on this end, but where is the effort? The effort's in the middle, and it pivots while you move it. Huh? Huh? Where you gonna get that kind of crazy contraption? Salad tongs! Salad tongs! Salad tongs. Look, you put the effort in the middle there, it pivots on that end, and you have the load there. And there you go. First class, second class, and third class levers. Whatever your mood, we've got the levers for you. Chris and I had some trouble getting the weights on our maxed out trebuchet.
That's gonna be a problem, Phil.
So we had to come up with a new system. A metal bar that pivots on the bottom of the lever arm. It's got lots of spots for weights, and we could lift the weights one at a time to attach them all. We start out with 255 pounds. How many kilograms is that?
113.3 continued.
Yeah, that's what I got too. All right, that's definitely enough weight, right?
Definitely.
Okay, let's fire a pumpkin!
Let's do it.
This trebuchet works the same as the other models, but because it's so much larger, we really need to haul on the rope. We attach the arm to a quick release, which allows us to hold it in place until we're ready to fire. Oh, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa!
We launched a bunch of the same size pumpkins and got a pretty good idea of how far we were throwing them. Oh!
Wow.
Okay, you know what? We should leave this here so that we know how far that last pumpkin went.
And then try to beat it.
And then we try to beat it. We haven't gotten through the goalposts.
It seemed to handle the more weight pretty well. I think we can add even more. What do you think?
I think we should add all of the weight. This is science max. This is not like science minimum.
Let's max it out.
We
man.
totally maxed it out. Okay, all the weight.
All
the weight. All the weight. Max Historica.
Good morrow to you! I am Lord Fillington IV, and welcome to my medieval castle! My father, Lord Fillington III, had his castle besieged by catapults, and he had to share his prized collection of snow globes. Well, I, Lord Fillington IV, have made a few improvements. First was forgetting about snow globes. Those are so last season. I collect limited edition Science Maximals stuffed toys. And I've collected them all, and I'll never share. Hello? That Lord Fillington has been hogging all the limited edition Science Maximals, and he won't even trade. I mean, look, I've got 3 floofers, and all I need is a Fricto. But he won't trade. Surely you can trade. Never. I have all the Frictos, and I'll never trade. That's it. Time to build it. Oh, you're gonna build a catapult and knock my castle walls down? Well, I've learned a thing or two from my father. I, too, have catapults. Release! Fortunately, we've got a new invention of our own, a trebuchet. Oh, fiddlesticks. They have a duck pate. Trebuchet. A what? A Mother's Day? A Hudson's Bay? A Cabernet? I can't hear you. You've got to come closer.
Release! The trebuchet was the best thing around right up until the invention of gunpowder. It could throw farther than anything else, even catapults. What you do, you see, is you put something in there, and then you put a big weight up there, right? And this goes down, that flies around and flies over the castle walls, all from far enough away where he can't get me with his catapults. And it works like this. 3, 2, 1. No, didn't make it. It's too high. It's too high. Ah! All right. I give up. I'll trade. Oh, that's quite nice. I like that. Oh. And that's how trebuchets were used in history. Sort of. Our giant trebuchet launched a pumpkin pretty far.
Very cool.
But now it's time to max it out further by adding even more weight. All the weight, all the weight, all the weight. So we increased the weight to 425 pounds. That's a lot of weight. Okay, are we ready?
I think so. I can't wait to see what this thing does.
I can't wait to see how heavy it is to pull. Turns out pulling that much weight using our rope was really tough, even with the mechanical advantage of our lever. There we go. We found another pumpkin of the same size, but then we started having another problem. 3, 2, 1, go!
Whoa! Look at how high it is!
What? Whoa! Go!
Whoa!
What? Whoa! So, I think we're going a little too high.
Yes.
It was almost straight up. How far the pumpkin goes all comes down to when the rope slips off the pin at the end. If the rope slips off too early, the pumpkin goes up and not very far. Too late and the pumpkin goes straight, which means it'd hit the ground sooner and doesn't go as far. A 45-degree angle is just right. And how do you adjust it? By simply bending the pin. 3, 2, 1.
Whoa! That was great.
That went way farther than 60. We should have had another sign.
I don't even know how far that went.
Yeah, there you go. Science Max, experiments at large, trebuchet. So, one of us has to clean up the pumpkins and the other one has to put the trebuchet away.
Right.
Pumpkins!